women's games here tonight. Good evening, I'm Roger Wardell, and joining me is Russ Woloshin. And Russ, should we expect a competitive game here tonight, or will this be more of a friendly affair?
Oh, no, I think this is going to be very competitive. We've got two, for the women's match here, we've got two very, very competitive teams. Talked to Tim Laux, the West coach, and Hernan Humana, the East coach, and they're expecting a really bang-out fair, because this is the last year for a number of these players. The big problem that I think they've addressed in the practice this morning was, can you get superstars to play as a team? And both these coaches have done a good job, I think, at that when I was watching them practice this morning. For the East, a couple of players that you really have to watch is Diane Cerny. I think she's wearing number 6, CIAU All-Star, the only CIAU All-Star on the court. Great player. And Kathy Garrington, I think number 8. The East has terrific power hitting. Diane Cerny has the advantage, I think, that her own setter, Jennifer Huey, is going to be setting her. So you can expect a lot of swings from Diane Cerny especially. But the West isn't chopped liver either. They've got Jen Richardson, who is number 2 in the OUA in kills. Garrington was number 1. And the player that I think could turn this match around is Mary Smith, right side player from Guelph. Tall, left-handed, tremendously athletic. And I think her blocking and her hitting is going to be a big factor in this match. I'd like to mention 2 other players. Lynn McDonald from Western, 50-year player, a veteran, but probably one of the hardest working players. And she's a great role model because she works so hard. She actually really raises the level of her teammates because of her hard work. And Marnie Simpson, dynamic player, great defensive player, and I think you're going to find that she's going to dig a lot of these bombs that the East Power Raiders are going to hit at them. The other thing I think we should mention here is this huge facility. It's an aircraft hangar. It's so big. The court is not well lined, and that shield in the middle is off center. So it's going to be a factor because the Eastern players have not played on this court, and I think early in the match you may see them playing a little tentatively. But other than that, I think it's going to be a great match. I really do.
All right, this is the first annual All-Star game. As you mentioned, the East versus the West. Should be, as you mentioned, it should be quite a competition here today. Both teams want to win. We'll be back with the opening serve right after this.
Cable in the classroom, tears down walls, opens minds.
Welcome back to the University of Waterloo. You see there the women's teams shaking hands before they get underway here. It's a shot there of number 3, Stephanie Dart from Laurier. She won't be in today's game. She hurt her ankle in practice. I'm Roger Wardell, and joining me is Allison Woloshin, player for the Waterloo Warriors. So you know most of these players here today. Maybe first off, just talk a little bit about the format we're going to see here today.
Okay, great. This is going to be an excellent opportunity here to showcase some of the best talent in Ontario as far as women's volleyball is concerned. It's going to be more of a tournament format with playing a best-of-3 match, but it's going to be 3 games straight, no matter if one team wins the first 2 sets or if the other team wins it. And the third game, I'm pretty sure, is going to be a rally point game. It's more of an opportunity to showcase the talent, like I said before. And in doing that, the one change that they're going to make to the rules tonight is the coaches are going to be allowed to have unlimited substitutions so that all players are going to get in there and really show their stuff. So it's more of just a showcase, get out there, play tough, and let these girls go at it really hard out here.
The East Division versus the West Division. The East are in the blue uniforms, the West in the white. Coach of the East Division, Hernan Humana. Coach of the West Division, Tim Laux from McMaster. So some veteran coaches here as well. You're talking about Hernan Humana.
Yeah, he's actually really known around CI volleyball, actually Canadian volleyball, not just around Ontario. He came from Chile, actually played for the Chilean national team, and he actually was the coach of John Child, excuse me, and Mark Hayes, of the bronze medalists at the Olympic volleyball last year, our only Olympic volleyball medal ever. So he has a lot of experience out here. A lot of these girls are going to have a lot of fun playing for him.
Just about to get things underway here. It's going to be the West Division serving the ball off first. Ani Matsubayashi with the ball. We're just about to get underway here, the first annual OUA All-Star Volleyball game.
I think I'm going to look to Jenny here to set the middle right away. She's going to want a bad pass there, unfortunately.
And having some trouble there was Marnie Simpson, as the ball will go over now to the East Division. And it looks like number 4, Sarah Hogarth, will be back to serve.
Yeah, I don't think Marnie's going to make many more of those mistakes tonight. Those are probably just first pass jitters out there.
The ball put over the East Division now, back on the attack. Nice dig there by Matsubayashi. That's going to go out of bounds.
Yeah, it's just noticing here, looks like the coach of the East team here, Hernan, has switched up his players a little bit. Sasha there was playing right side. She's probably the premier middle player for the East, and he's got her playing on the right side of the court right now, mixing it up a little bit.
That's just long by the West Division, Jen Richardson from McMaster.
Yeah. It's like some of these girls are just trying to, this gym is really difficult to play, and with a lot of the currents and that, and especially for the East, they've never played in this gym before, so gotta get used to the court.
The East Division now, a little bit of miscommunication there. So none of these players have played together before. Well, but, there's a couple players have played together before, but for the most part, this is the first time they've played together before, except for the practice this morning.
Yeah, they had one short 2-hour practice, and you're going to see a lot of that in the middle, I think. The middle is a real intricate kind of trust thing between their setter and a middle player that takes, you know, a lot of time to build. So you're going to see a lot of times the miscommunication going there between the two.
There's a serve from Christine Irwin from the West Division in the white uniforms. And now the East Division. Free ball for the West. Here's Richardson. There's one. Just long again. Little trouble here.
We're looking for the touch there. Not going to get it, unfortunately.
Here's Klunder back for the East. So play a little sloppy here early on, as it's 1-0 for the East leading the West Division.
Yeah, both teams now have their setters in the front court, so they've only got their 2 options, only 2 hitters to hit to, and I think both setters are small, so they're probably going to send the ball outside a little more and really use the weaker blocking out there. Not necessarily weaker, but the smaller block, I guess, in both Bonnie and Jenny outside.
Game's now tied up at 1 point apiece as Mary Smith from the Guelph Griffins to serve.
Real tough server, Mary is. Great hit.
Great hit there, yes, by Diane Cerny, and we'll see her doing that a fair bit today.
Yeah, she's a power hitter. The second team all-star at the national level, probably the premier player in the province right now. She can hit from anywhere. She came out of the middle there and hit against a very experienced blocker in Lynn McDonald, number 11 for the West, and she just put that ball away. Amazing player, very versatile.
1-0, Richardson, short serve.
Great serve.
Alert there was the East. And along again, Richardson having trouble finding the mark there on her power hits.
Yeah, the West really needs to capitalize on that free ball opportunity. Here's a real chance for the setter to kind of shine and play off some great combinations, but they really need that first pass up.
There's Matsubayashi to Simpson. Simpson.
Great shot. Great shot down the line. You give Marnie an inch, she's going to take a foot there every single time. You don't give her anything, she's going to put that ball away. It's a great shot.
Score still tied at 1. This is McDonald from Western, member of the team that won it all this year.
Yeah.
Garrington off the block and out. So a ball over to the East Division, 1 serving 1.
Yeah, it's really kind of the battle of the powers right now. There's been nothing really strong from the middle yet, and I think that's going to be the tone all game. Again, a miscommunication there with or mistiming by the setter and the right side player a little bit. They didn't quite connect as well as they could have. They still got the side out.
There's Bonnie Matsubayashi, another member from the Western Mustangs. 3 players here from Western on the West Division.
Great dig. Beautiful dig by Lynn.
Richardson puts it down and out again.
Mary.
Oh, pardon, yes.
Yeah, Mary Smith. She just missed it. West is finding it difficult to find this court, and that's really surprising, being that all these players have played in this gym before. The East is really at the disadvantage of not playing in this court. That one looked like it was off the block. Yeah, it really did. And they were all looking for that too, but the refs have a better angle from where they are down there.
Let's see, East serving 2-1. There's Matsubayashi.
Smart tip. Arnie got up there, saw the ball, was really tight on the net, and just decided was trying to push it deep, but saw the hands there and used them, pushed them out of bounds. Smart play.
The jump serve.
Oh, out of rotation call.
I don't know what that call was.
I think that was out of rotation. I think that setter Jenny was too far over to the right side of her backcourt player.
2 serving 2, and not what she wanted to do there. Marnie Simpson putting one into the net.
She's an aggressive player. She's going to go after that. She led the OU for number of aces per game this year, so she's going to go after those tough serves, especially in this match.
There's Garrington with the serve. We'll see her with some power when she gets up to the net.
Better hit by Jen there.
A little bit of hesitation there again from the East. Now the West. Oh, Richardson.
Yeah, Bonnie did an excellent job there as far as isolating a one-on-one situation as far as blockers. She brought Marion in the back quick and sent Christine out for more of an inside shoot, and Jen had a one-on-one opportunity. Great setting by Bonnie.
There's a nice one. Mary Smith.
Mary's a great player, and I think she's going to come up real big in this game. Left-handed, outside, right-side player. That's what you like. A lot of coaches like to see. Big, tall block and a really great hitter.
The West unable to get under the ball there. It's
Yeah, Amanda did a great job too of pulling that set back. The set was a little far behind her head, and she really reached hard and grabbed that back, kind of make the adjustment a little bit.
And another the sloppy play here going on. Mentioned earlier that this is the first time that most of these players have played together. Right now it's 2 serving 3. The West Division in the white. This is Mary Smith from Guelph. That serve's going to be long.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of these teams are just trying to work out the first, try to get used to each other. They've only practiced for 2 hours together, so they have a lot of time to get work back into each other.
East Division serving down 1 point. Scores 3-2. The West Division leading.
Bonnie a little slower getting underneath the ball, which is uncharacteristic of her. A lot of speed in the setters from the West, but she got called on a little bit of a lift there. Probably won't happen again.
So now it's 4-2. East Division building up a bit of a lead here, and now we're going to have a timeout here.
It's like a technical timeout at 5 points. The East there got the ball back pretty quick. It looks like the West is having a little bit of struggling problems just as far as getting that first pass up to the body. She's really trying to run something there, but she really can't because the pass is in there right now.
So is what do you think Kernan Humana is happy? We'll see if we can listen into him here.
Yeah, I think
and so we have to be prepared for it. When they receive a good pass, when they are running a good pass and the setter has the hands, I would like to see you with the hands a bit higher, because when they run the quick, the time it takes us to go up there is too late. So they are kind of, luckily they are hitting slightly outside, but if those balls are in, we can get some stuff done, eh? See what they're doing, right? See what they're doing on their end. Nothing fancy, just want to make sure a solid block, play around it, you know, solid block and play around it. Other than that, it's okay. We just got to get it off our end when we're point scoring, okay? Lots of good balls, tough serve, lots of good balls that we can go block and defense against, okay? Come on.
Let's go, guys. Let's relax down here. Let's go.
So do you agree with what the coaches are saying there to their teams?
Yeah, they're both playing pretty lax. You know, they know that this is more of a relaxed game, but neither one wants to be the first coach to go down in this. So they're both saying, Hernan was talking about getting the block up a little faster. They're a little late, and Tim again was talking about, you know, playing some solid defense around the block. The block really sets the tone for the whole defense. So they're both looking to pick up defensively their games.
5-2, the East Division leading, the East in the blue. The first ever OUA Volleyball All-Star game. Now it's 6-2.
It's a little bit out, but that was a good run there by Bonnie to try to establish that middle a little more.
Amanda Poole serving. There's a nice serve. Dug nicely by Simpson. And Richardson puts it over the net. Nice dig there by Smith, and it's put down. The ball is still alive by the West.
A little bit too over-anxious there by Christine. She wanted to get that ball over the net. Sometimes you just have to be able to throw an arm up, and it takes a lot of a lot of athletic ability to be able to do that. That's a really tough ball to put back over the net, so it's a good effort by the West.
It's now 7-2. Trying to increase their lead to 6 points as the East Division. And
oh, excellent play by Mary Smith. Beautiful defense.
Comes to East again. Oh, nice dig by Simpson.
Gives it right back to her.
Now the West doing some good work at the net, and Matsubayashi is going to get called there.
Jenny's doing a great job out there. She's really recognizing that Diana's having a big game right now. She's hitting the ball hard and high, and that was really good confidence to send that back, right back to her. Diana hit it right into the digger, and Jenny knew that giving the ball back to her would probably be a kill. Went into the block, but they still got the side out.
Bridget Campbell in now for Jen Richardson on the West Division, as Amanda Poole will continue on serving. Just nice serving there, just over the net. And there's Campbell right into the game and gets the ball back over to her side.
That's really good confidence coming in with Bridget. She's the Rookie of the Year this year, so by far the youngest player on this court. Probably doesn't have has the least amount of experience out here, and she came right in and made a big kill. That's really good for the setters too, to know that she's got that confidence. Wow. Great block there by Lynn.
8-3 now. It's the East Division in the blue on top. This is Bridget Campbell. There's Cerny trying to fool the West Division there at the net, but they didn't go for it.
No, the problem there a lot of the time was that the East really hasn't established their middle yet. Lynn isn't really convinced that Amanda's going to get the ball there, so she just waits, and then Marnie read Diana coming around, and you know, all three of them up like that. You don't want to see triple block when you're running a pattern like that.
Marnie Simpson just wide.
That ball looked a little bit outside the antenna, and Marnie tried to reach back and still put it away.
8-4 is the score now, the East Division leading. Diane Cerny from Toronto serving.
A little bit of confusion, but
Finally,
see what they do here.
There's Garrington. Nice work by the West. And Smith will put it over. Nice dig there. And a nice play there by the East Division.
It's great to be able to have backcourt players like that, you know, you're out of transition a little bit. Jenny, again, as a smart setter that she is, noticed that the blockers were kind of stacked over into the power side, didn't want to give it right back to Kathy. She can have the confidence that she's got that player behind her that can hit the ball from the backcourt effectively.
That'll make the score 10-5. And we're going to have another timeout here as the East Division, or 10-4 is the score, as the East Division in control of this first game. It's the best 2 out of 3, but if one team wins the first 2 games, they'll still play the third.
Yeah, exactly. I think the West just needs to kind of cut down on their own errors here. Their passing hasn't been quite up, and they're making a lot of kill errors right now, which is a little uncharacteristic of a lot of these players at the level that they're at. So I think once they settle in a little bit, it'll get a little stronger. The East is, on paper, you know, has a tougher offensive team, so they're going to be able to come up a little bit harder up at the net, and I think that's what we're seeing right now. So.
Okay, if we're getting the blocks and we're getting the touches, you've got to be looking for the things that are maybe less than unusual. If the triple is there and you're going to put it up, the corners have got to look to pinch that, right? If you stay back deep, you're toast, because all they're going to do is roll or get at something off the hands. Hey, come on. West. Side out here, and let's go.
So Tim Luke still trying to keep his team on a positive note there.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing here. This is, you know, to get out there and show your stuff, but it's also, you know, a fun, you know, you're playing against your rivals all year, so you want to make sure that you have some fun in this too.
10-4, the East on top, serving Diane Cerny.
Great pass.
Little dink shot there by Simpson. The East having trouble with it.
And that was a really smart play by Marnie. She saw the blockers come in there, put the ball over, and even though it wasn't a kill, she made that kill happen, that side out happen.
McDonald with the serve. And into the net, that'll be 10-5 now. The West cuts the East lead by half. Lynn McDonald from Western in her final year. This is her Their last hurrah, I guess, in this All-Star game.
Yeah, and the league's really going to miss Lynn. She is an amazing player and a really great role model. She's always really up on her team, and she does a lot of really great things in the backcourt. Probably one of the best defensive players because she reads so well. But I think Western's going to have a tough hole to fill there when she's gone.
Beautiful play there by Bonnie Matsubayashi. Completely had the East Division fooled, and
everyone, that's the best feeling as a setter, to be able to, you draw that middle blocker in and then you just tip it over the net. Small moment of glory for the setters that don't get nearly enough.
there's Garrington, just long.
She really wanted that hit. Those are the type of sets, especially when you don't have a blocker, you really want to put those down.
10 to 7 the score. The West Division making a game out of this. Down 6 now, just down 3, trying to make it 2 now.
Oh, good free ball.
Here's Smith.
And again, it's just those unforced errors where the West just can't put the ball on the court. They're really having problems finding the end lines, and they're just missing it on all sides.
10 serving 7. Matsubayashi to Simpson. Nice block. And it's going to be out, though.
Yeah, I think that ball was a little bit off the tape. It was more tape than I don't think there was any hands on that, unfortunately. So it's going to go back to the East.
And Stacy McCoy is coming in now, replacing Mary Smith of Guelph.
Fans really like that here. Stacy's the only local on the court.
Playing for the Laurier Golden Hawks. Matsubayashi again, getting some glory there.
Yeah, and that's great. If you can keep, a lot of times you can score a lot of times with that. I highly doubt that you're going to see that more than once. As a coach, that's something that you hate, to see a setter dump on you. It's one of the cheaper moves, most players think, but it's definitely a kill, and it's definitely a useful weapon for a lot of teams, especially if you're struggling. It's a great way to get the momentum back, and that's what Bonnie saw.
There's Sasha Plunder with a nice move there. It's 11-7 now, the East Division leading here in the first game of the best 2 out of 3 OUA All-Star game. The first ever. It's Roger Wardell and Allison Woloshin here with you. And that serve is long, and it will be West ball now.
Serving for the West now is number 4, Marty.
So is this the type of game you expected coming in here?
I think I expected a little more competitive right off the bat, but I think, again, the West is coming back into it, and I think it's just more first moment jitters and just getting to play with new players. A lot of these players have had to carry their teams a lot of the time, so to have to kind of step back and really play some disciplined defense and not have to work as hard as they used to is probably difficult, but it's getting a lot better. The teams are gelling a lot better, and it's getting to be a very competitive match right now.
There's Garrington, and that catches the tape.
And she's going to keep going after those tough serves, too. Just like Marnie with her big spin serve. Kathy wants to score a few aces in this game, get a quick, easy points.
Irwin serves it there to Clunder. Garrington. And a nice block at the net.
That's a big block.
Lynn McDonald at the net there with the block.
Lynn and Stacy out there set up really nicely. Read Diane cross court beautifully and really shut her down.
Here's Garrington. Matsubayashi to Richardson.
And Jenny tried to pick that ball up with her foot there a little bit, which is legal now, so it's good athleticism there, but just missed it.
It's now a 2-point game, 11-9.
We'll come right back into this game.
It's the West trailing in the white. Here's Stacy McCoy. Matsubayashi, good effort there.
Great coverage. Bonnie's probably one of the tougher working players. She always works hard out there on the court. All these setters, Josie, who is unfortunately hasn't got on the court yet. And here she comes. You can see her. Great set. Just hits the net a little bit. You missed it on the end, but Bonnie comes in and makes a great defensive play.
Matsubayashi and Simpson with a nice hit.
Really hit that ball hard.
Cerny, and that's going to be long.
Yeah, Cerny was trying there. She saw that Christine hadn't quite slid over to the line there as far as getting right over to play defense down the line, and she saw that was going to try to roll it deep. Just missed it a little bit.
Mary Smith back in. There's Cerny.
And she's going for the same type of spot there. Great defense by Sasha.
There's Klunder putting it back over. Smith with the Matsubayashi trying to fool the East again, and this time it didn't work. Matsubayashi this time setting up Richardson. Nice.
Sasha's playing some great defense back there. She's getting hands on it, popping the ball back up. She's really reading well.
It's now 11-10. The West Division serving, just trailing by 1 point now. Try to even it here. Mary Smith. Nice deep serve.
Great pass.
Here's Cerny.
And there she is. She found the hole. She's been going there. That's the 3rd time now. And let's see if Coach Tim, coach of the West,
Tim Lukes.
She probably will mention to his middle players that shouldn't score again.
Amanda Poole from Lakehead, another veteran player. This is her last year, her last hurrah here. Must be a good feeling for some of these players in their final year to get to play in the first All-Star game.
Oh, definitely, definitely. These girls are definitely have some fun out here, and it's a real honor, real privilege, especially in front of the crowd that's here tonight.
Good-sized crowd here at the U of W, University of Waterloo. Get a look at the replay here.
Great step around here, and great block by Diane there. She really turned her hands in hard, kind of got her back there for the one that Lynn put her down the last time.
Richardson.
Jen's finding her niche here now. She's
started off a little slow, but now she's in the groove.
Yeah, she's one of those players that's a good, solid player, and she's going to come out strong. She normally takes a little bit to warm up. She's had some back injuries and some shoulder injuries that come with the game. So, new sub coming in, number 11.
Katie McKelvey in for the East Division, as it's 10 serving 12. Here's Cerny again.
She's really going hard this game. She's hitting everything. She's a lot of coaches like that attitude where you're going to go down, swinging, and she's going to put more balls in than make those errors like that.
Almost staring the blockers.
Yes, exactly. Oh, nice. Great dig by Jen. Just missed it.
Just long there.
That was a beautiful dig by Jen. Just to get it up and then make a play out of it.
Now here's Cerny serving the ball. Matsubayashi put back deep by McDonald.
Great read by Diane in the backcourt.
There's Matsubayashi just tipping the ball over. Here's Garrington.
And again, right down the line. It's almost Diane and Kathy are really smart players, and they're going to see that Christine isn't swinging and put that ball down there. You see her going up. The block's there, and Bonnie's a small setter too. She goes right over Bonnie, right down the line,
now,
right to the hole.
Do you think Matsubayashi is just putting the ball over too much now, like the other team is almost expecting it to come over?
I think a lot of a few of the last one has a lot to do with the passing right now. The passing's been really tight onto the net, or it's been really fast where it's come over and it's been too quick for Bonnie to really get under the ball to make a good set out of it. So she's just put it back more out of a free ball type thing, or a desperate thing, as opposed to actual thinking that it's going to score.
See what Tim Lukes has to say here. His team down by 2, 13-11.
So if you can't see it, you got to come for the tip, eh? Okay, no big deal. Hey, nice fight back, guys. Let's go now. Get aside.
Let's go.
Let's get aside right now. Ready? Go.
West.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so they're really fighting back now, the West, and volleyball is a total momentum game. You've seen this here. They were down by 5 points, was it before?
5 or 6. Anyways,
yeah,
yes.
Now they're right back in this game, and they almost have momentum, even though they're down. They've almost got the momentum back.
Here's Cerny, her team up by 2. For Simpson, just long.
When they start putting those balls in the court, it's gonna, the East is gonna have to play a little better defense, but the East, you gotta give them a lot of credit here. They're doing some great hitting and some great serving to the right people.
Cerny serving for the game. Nice dig. Garrington racing for the ball. She can't get it over, so the West Division will stay alive here, fighting off 1 game point as they trail now 11-14. We're in the first game of the best 2 out of 3 OUA Women's All-Star game. McDonald with the serve. Oh, nice kill.
And we haven't seen a lot coming out of the middle yet, which is something, at this level, that's the first thing you want to do, is establish a strong middle so you hold that blocker there, and that's probably the first big kill that we've seen all night out of there.
Another game point. And off the arm. And back to the West Division. So the West Division fighting hard here, staying in this first game.
Yeah, nothing's over yet. They've still got, the East has got to get to 15. That 15th point is probably the hardest point in the whole game to get. So they're going to have to fight hard for it. Bonnies definitely want to get the ball to our key players right now.
And that ball is wide by Sarah Hogart. So it's 12-14 now, the West Division fighting strong here. We're going to get another timeout.
The West definitely has their strongest front court right now, especially with Mary in the front.
She's on the net.
I think they'll want to put the ball to her a lot.
So Hernan Humana, his team had a big lead. Now they're just up by 2. Maybe trying to calm his team down here. We'll see if we can hear what he has to say to his team. What do you think he would be saying to his team, man?
I think he's just going to be telling the girls to just settle in a little bit. We just need one side out and 1 point. You know, we need 2 good things to win here, 2 complete rallies, and we've got this set. Just settle down. Let's get this pass up. Let's get the ball to our big players right now, which are definitely Sarah and Diane or Kathy. And I think Jenny will be looking to do that. And let's get this side out right away and then win this set.
Maybe Hernan had a secret plan there. As we lost his mic, maybe he turned us off so he couldn't listen into what he had to say.
He might have done that.
Matsubayashi back to serve. Her team's down by 2, 12-14.
Go right out to Sasha.
Nice play.
A smart tip by Marnie there.
Here comes Garrington.
A little tight.
Yeah, that set tight to the net.
It's really tough, especially when you're out there on that angle. If it's a tight ball, there's not a lot you can do with it. Kathy made the effort there, but just a little bit out.
Now the West can tie it here.
Oh, tight pass again.
And it's put down by Christine Irwin.
Yeah, Mary got a little excited there, I think, and touched the net a little bit, so it's going to go back to the East.
So the West thought they had it tied there, but now it's the East serving for the game again. Up by 1 point, it's 14-13. This is Sarah Hogart to serve out the first game. Matsubayashi to set. Smith, a nice hit there. It's kept alive by the East. Garrington off the block and in, and that's the first game. The East Division winning the first one, 15-13.
First set.
So it started off a little slow, but then it got going there at the end, and we should be in for an exciting second game, and we'll be back with that second game right after this.
In the future, you will access every form of entertainment whenever you wish, and do so with ease and simplicity.
They tell us the future will be wonderful. But who, we ask, will make it practical? Right now, a group of companies you know is working together to build a more practical future. This sign is how you'll know them.
Welcome back to the University of Waterloo. Roger Wardell and Allison Woloshin here with you. The first game over, the East winning that one, 15-13. And you mentioned at the start of the program, Allison, that the coaches have unlimited substitution, but neither coach are making that many changes in their lineups.
Yeah, they've made a few here and there. I think that it's a really tough decision for these coaches. They both want to win, and both teams want to win, but it is a showcase of the best players, so you want to make sure that everyone has a chance to get in there. But you don't want to cheat someone out of time at all. It looks like both coaches have made a lot of changes in their lineup right now. It looks like, just looking from here too, it looks like the West is going to be actually running a 6-2. It looks like, I'm just assuming just from where they've got their setters starting. A 6-2 means that there'll be 2 setters on the court, but only whoever's in backcourt will be the chosen setter, as opposed to what is typically always a 5-1. The East also has a new setter in, which this could make a big difference, the setter being the quarterback of the team. These 2 little changes will probably make a lot of difference, but there are a lot of new faces on the court right now. A lot of new opportunities for these players to get in there and really, really play tough.
Second game about to get underway, and there it goes. The East Division serving to start off this game.
And that's a great play. That's really, as a setter myself, that's what you like to see. Jess got in there. It's a tough pass. She put the ball outside to number 1, Josie Niao, who actually is a first-team All-Star as a setter, and she doesn't do much hitting at all. She got the chance to get a kill out there in power.
Nice dig there by the West Division. And there's Stacey McCoy with a nice hit.
Great dig by Lynn.
Both teams came out hitting here, a little hesitant in the first game, but now both teams are ready to play here at the start of the second.
Lindsay's doing a good job too. She also recognized that Josie, although she's a tough blocker, but she's a lot smaller than some of the other hitters out there. So Lindsay's going to go a lot to her power hitters right now. There she goes again.
There's Katie May. She's blocked. May will try again. That may have been wide. It's kept in play and
good spot by Josie. Another great dig by Lynn.
Some great action here starting off the second set, and a little bit of miscommunication there.
And again, that's just inexperience with not having more than 2 hours to practice with these new players.
Here's Bridget Campbell back to serve.
Great. Lynn is just a machine back there right now. She's making digs all over the court and is really setting up for good offensive opportunities for her team.
Nice play there.
Yeah, tough play. Christine might have wanted to speed that up a little bit by taking that ball with her hands as opposed to passing it. But she got in there really quick. She made the pass and goes right in. You can see her there. She hands a little low, so her hands were down. And Jess had a little low set, but she got in there nice and quick. So it was a good feed over the net.
And that one's long by the East Division, and now it's 4-0, the West Division. An early lead here in the second game. They lost the first one 15-13. Coming back strong here in the second, though.
I'm gonna have to give up a little bit of a free ball. Oh, converted that really nicely.
Nice dig. And McCoy puts it down. Stacey McCoy finishing that nice play off.
And yeah, West is doing a little bit to the East what the East has done to them all game as far as shooting that right down the line. You see, great dig by Lynn. Lynn is just playing amazing defense in the backcourt there. She's definitely, one of her strengths is that she reads the play so well and she knows what's going on. And you can see Stacey just gets up there, feeds it right down the line. Excellent finish on that great dig that Lynn started that up on.
All right, let's listen into Hernan Humana here.
All credit to them. All credits go to them, okay? But now we'll have to get some credit for the next play. Let's head out. Let's go for it. 1, 2, 3.
East.
Let's go.
Let's go, girl.
So you mentioned Hernan Humana coaching Charlton Heath, the bronze medalist in the Olympics. Stacey McCoy there in the last kill was a junior beach volleyball champion this past summer.
Yeah, the beach, a lot of these players are going to go out in the summer and play beach. You know, the sun's out there and a lot of us are addicts, so they want to stay at it as much as possible, and the beach is the best place to go. A little bit of different rules. Sometimes you pick up some bad habits, but a lot of the beach game is even filtering onto this court with being able to volley the first serve and all those types of double hit contacts allowed on first contact. It's a great, great game.
Now, Russ Wolosh, your dad and the coach of Stacey McCoy, you play against him. He coaches Laurier. You play for Waterloo. What's that like playing against your father?
Oh, it was difficult. I think it was more difficult for him than anybody, just because he's been my supporter for probably 15, 16 years now. I remember him taking me out to the backyard and playing with me. And I think it was really difficult since his team was a little more successful than us, and it was that, you know, one of us could go and one of us couldn't. But it's a lot of fun. We still talk, and we still talk all about it. We don't hide anything from each other, so it's a little family rivalry. Never hurt anybody.
There's
Great pitch by Josie. Tough ball there by Jess. She couldn't quite get in there fast enough to jump set that ball because it was so tight. Tried to save it, just touched the net.
6-0 is the score. And now the East Division will try to change that.
The East, great hit there, Christine. They finally seem to be connecting on the middle, and I think the experience on that middle there is that Christine and Jess, number 7 and number 9 on the West, they played together all year. Jess was a setter for Christine, so they know each other. They're used to that. So they have a slight advantage. Good pick up there by Bridget.
And there's McCoy.
Great set Josie had out there to Bridget. Nice set by Lindsay.
This ball's still alive.
Yeah,
Campbell puts it over.
Good going. Christine made a good dig there. Jess tooled. Sasha did a great job tooling off, just hitting off of Lynn's hands there into the hole. Great rally.
Seeing some good volleyball action now. It's 6-0, the West Division in the white on top. It was the East Division winning the first match for the first game, 15-13.
Yeah, the East right now have their 2 key players, Kathy Garrington and Diane Cerny on the bench right now, which could be making a little bit of an impact on the team, but again, not taking away from any of the current players on the court. Katie May, another great player with a lot of experience. She's going to have to come up really big right now, and Kim, who just missed that, they're also really good players.
Josie Niu back to serve. She's been serving a few here. It's at 7-0 now.
And she'll probably take over the setting role now that she's back in the backcourt. With her speed and that, it's going to be a really great offense coming out. She gets to almost everything. She's a real, call her the Speedy Gonzalez of the league, because she's so fast.
So the first game, it was the East Division out to a quick lead, and now this game, it's the West Division to the
And the setters are just having a blast over here, putting that ball away. Jess put a nice ball down in the corner, deep into 6. As a left-handed, she has that range, too. She can really cut that ball back.
We get a look there on the replay.
There she goes, a little far outside, but because she's left-handed, she could bring that ball back inside the court. Kind of an advantage of being a left-handed.
And Stacey McCoy back to serve again as they just served a point there. It's 8-0 now. McCoy a short serve, and it was effective. Everything going right for the West Division this game.
Yeah, Lindsay had a tough ball there too. She is front court now, so she could have probably put that ball, given Lynn a little bit more, but Lynn's a really tough blocker, and it's hard to beat a middle blocker when you've only got one hand to push with. A quick 10-0 lead here.
And a timeout called here. What can Hernan Humana be saying to his team now?
I think he's just saying, calm down and relax.
I don't know if that was exactly.
More time, especially when they pass the ball, they need. So don't be scared to set. If we're going to make a mistake, it's better to do it sending it higher than usual than lower than usual. So give them time. They will fix it, or they can do something. But low, I think we have been setting pretty low and tight into the outside. Okay? Can you just go and reach high? You can use the block. Come on, we need. That will be ugly. We don't get a point, right? Yeah, it will be very ugly. Let's go for it. Come on, let's go.
Let's go, girls.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
So they're having a little fun there too.
Yeah, he's trying to get these girls back in the game, and I think Lindsay's a little nervous out here coming out. She wants to just settle in here and make a really good set on this next ball and make her hitters look good. That's the toughest job as a setter. You always want to give them the best opportunity to hit. She's doing a good job. She just needs to relax and get a good ball outside to Kim, run a good middle, and just settled in and she needs a good pass from her hitters.
McCoy back to serve again. Maybe we should say happy birthday to Stacey. She turns 21 on Tuesday. Here in front of her hometown crowd from the Laurier Golden Hawks as she tries to take an 11-0 lead here. And even this match at 1 game apiece.
And the East is really struggling just getting that ball over, and a lot of that is coming from their first pass. That first pass was right in the middle of the court, and Lindsay can't really do anything except send and have a high ball outside and power someplace. There's a better pass. Good block by Lynn to send it back.
And that ball was hit into the net by Kim Tilden.
Kim is really hitting more at her shoulder. She really needs to start reaching a little higher. She's hit almost every ball into the tape now, so she needs to reach high and put that ball on the court to get some confidence back before going for the kill right away. Another weak pass. You can't pass that first ball, you can't run anything.
It's now 13-0.
And now Hernan's made a good substitution here, I think, with bringing Diane back into the game, and I think Lindsay's going to give this ball right away to Diana. Oh, she sends it back to Sasha, which could have been a smart play there. They're going to know that they're going to key in. Lynn was a little late, probably keying in on Diana, so that was a smart play by Lindsay to send it back to an equally strong hitter in Sasha.
13-0 here in the second game.
Great set. Davey just a little bit outside. But a good turn for Josie to try to do that.
So
they're on the board.
They are 13-1 now. Hernan Humana laughing, smiling on the bench.
Little float serve.
Here's McCoy. Nice dig. Here's Cerny.
Just wide. A little far inside, she was going for that sharp cross. It was a good serve, though, by Sasha. Even though it was a high ball and you could get under it, anything short normally mixes up the offense a little bit, so a smart serve.
Here's a look at Lynn McDonald.
Oh, our first ace of the game. Lines on these court are really fade, and with the currents and that, sometimes you think that ball's way out of bounds when it's in.
It's the blue lines we're using too.
Yep, the baby blue lines. Sneezing court's very faint lines, and the emblem in the middle is off center, so it messes up a lot of teams. It's a tough court to play in for a first time.
The East Division.
Good block by Lindsay.
And there's the West Division winning this second game, 15-1.
Very commandingly too. I didn't expect that type of game at all. But I think the West had something to prove after they lost that first match.
So it was the East Division winning the first game 15-13. The West come back here to win the second one 15-1. We'll be back with the third and deciding game right after this.
In the future, information of all kinds will be yours to command, simplifying your world in ways once only dreamed of.
They tell us the future will be wonderful. But who, we ask, will make it practical? Right now, a group of companies you know is working together to build a more practical future. This sign is how you'll know them.
And welcome back to the University of Waterloo. The third game just about to get underway here, and this should be a fast and furious game as it's a rally point.
Yeah, a point every match, and especially in volleyball, it's a real, sometimes teams get stuck in the side-out game because you serve the ball and then you have the opportunity for first attack. So the first attack actually is what you want. So the West kind of has a slight advantage here. The first opportunity to get a point because they're going to side out right away. I think Jess is going to want to run the middle right away. That's where her strongest hitter is right now. Tough pass.
That put down by Campbell, kept in play by the East.
Little tough play there. Great hustle there by Jetty to save that short pass. Just get that ball outside.
Campbell with the serve.
Great pass by Diane. That was a really good run in the middle.
So it's 1-1 here in the third set.
Sarah's been playing really well. She wasn't originally on this team, and she's come back and played really tough, taking Mary Ellen Barber from Ottawa's place, who has a pretty bad knee injury and couldn't play. A little bit more there. Stacey's waiting for it to come off the net.
So it's Sarah Hogart back for the East Division, 2-1 now. Her team leading.
Oh, good save by Lynn. That was really great follow. Another great dig by Lynn McDonald in the backcourt.
Here's McCoy.
And Stacey wasn't hit extremely hard, but she found the hole and put it in the spot, and that's the best thing to do in volleyball, especially on a scramble play like that.
So it's 2-2 here in the third game, and serving is Christine Irwin from McMaster. There's McKelvey.
Touch. A 2-2 tie, or a 3-2, excuse me. Lead here for the East. Katie goes back to serve, and now the East here has Diana in the front court, so you look to her to get a lot of balls right now. Great hustle by Diane. She came way out of the front court.
Put over by McKelvey.
And just out of bounds. It's a tough play. That was a great run Diane made from the front court all the way back to that end line. Both teams have their best hitters in the front court right now, as with Lynn McDonald for the West and Diane in the front for the East.
It's 3-0 with Niu serving. And put
Great
down
hit.
nicely
And
by Amanda Poole.
That's a really difficult hit for that angle she was coming out. It was a high ball in the middle. She had two blockers up on her. She cut that really nicely back to one. If you see here, it was really difficult. Behind her head, saw the one block and went right to the spot.
There's Niu, and Locke puts it over.
Good dig by Christine. Wow, great set by Josie with a one hand. West looking for a four touch there. Go. Oh, just
Campbell
missed it.
unable to get to that one. It's now 4-3, the East Division leading, and they'll be serving as well now.
The East is still keying on that #1 position as far as putting from power, putting that ball right down the line, just over Josie's head.
This is rally point, so there is a point awarded for every play.
That was a great hit, really nice pick there.
I think it's now 5-3. I mentioned it was 4-3. It's the West Division leading. They're in the white, and back to serve is Stacy McCoy. 5-4 is the score.
Another nice hit, good dig. Christine picked that up this time.
Campbell just long, and it's going to be tied at 5 now.
And Bridget, as the Rookie of the Year, really doesn't have the same experience as some of the other players, but has really come in and made a big difference in their serving and their attacking here. It's good to see a young player hitting so hard. And just out. Good confidence by Josie, though, to put that ball right back to her, make sure that she stays in this game.
I'm going to give you the correct score now. It's now 7-4, and it's the East Division on top, and they have the ball and they're serving, and now Tim Lukes is making some changes here.
He's bringing in his big guns right now in power. Jen Richardson and Marnie Simpson, both premier hitters as far as in the West, both in the top 10 for kills in OUA competition total. So both these girls are going to be getting a lot of balls, especially with Marnie and Lynn in the front court right now. That's a big front court for the West.
Here's Poole, Niu, and that's hit over by McDonald.
They're going to have to give up a free ball. Let's see what the West is going to run here now.
Over for Simpson. Simpson, hard hit.
Big hit out there in power. Marnie wanted that ball. She probably hasn't, I know Marnie fairly well. We've played together in all-star competitions and club levels before, and you can see her here, really smart. She took that line again, and she's going to come out swinging now. This is her last opportunity to play with players like Lynn, against Jen Richardson, so she wants to get in there tough.
Some changes from the East Division now. Klunder in, as well as
Lindsay Wells, the new setter. Good pass by Diane. Give her right back to her. Just missed it.
That makes the score 7-6.
Lindsay will probably want to get the ball to Sasha or Diane here again, but Sarah's had a really tough game, so this is a great front court for Lindsay to work with. Here's Sasha.
Oh.
A little bit of miscommunication again on timing. Hopefully, though, the East needs to settle in and not get, uncomfortable with running these things.
This is the third game of the best 2 out of 3 OUA All-Star. The West versus the East, and it's all tied up at 7.
It doesn't look like Lindsay will have that opportunity. Jenny's right back in. We'll see what she's going to do here. Probably good to get the ball in the middle, get the ball to Sarah. She's had a really good game so far, been really tough at the net. They gave it to her. Great dig again by Lynn McDonald. And that was a good attempt at a dogfight, what we call there a dogfight. With the middle blocker up there, and the setter goes in to try to push the ball over. It was a good attempt, but just got caught on the net.
Now the teams are going to switch sides here.
A little more competitive match here. And here you go, you look here, you have to push really hard, but as you come down, she tried really tough. It just breezed the bottom of the net as she came down. One of the things that setters really like to do, a lot of setters are quite good at the pushing back because they have a lot of time to practice. It's one of the best feelings to be able to beat someone like that in a dogfight.
It's going to be the East Division serving here as they're up 8-7.
A tough game, though, with a rally point. That's one side out, and we're back in a tie match. So the West really wants to make sure that this is a critical point, that they don't want the East to get too many points here to get a run where they get over 10 or they get into 11 or 12, and it's kind of the game's lost. Once you get to 13 or 14, if you're up by 5 or 6 points in rally point, it's really tough to fight back because any mistake is crucial. So they want to stay right tough. They want to get this side out right away and keep this game as close as possible. Both teams with their big hitters up, their big middle players up front. Good pass.
Nice hit by Simpson.
And Josie's going to use Marnie a lot, especially with Jenny in the front court. Again, Jenny's a really good blocker, but she's a little smaller than some of the middle blockers, and Marnie's a great hitter, really smart hitter. So get the ball outside and let Marnie put that ball down the line.
And Bunny Matsubayashi is back in for the West.
And it'll be interesting to see when Lynn gets to the front court with Bonnie, because Lynn and Bonnie have played together, so there's that unity together. And Mary Smith is back in the game, which is really a real big advantage for the West. Great right side player, great blocker, and she's also left-handed, so anytime she needs to take the second ball, I think you should watch for her to send it right back.
Bit of a delay here, I'm not sure what that was about. We're ready to go now though. Here's Matsubayashi serving.
Good pass by Katie.
Cerny blocked nicely. Matsubayashi.
Right back to Marnie.
And just long.
Marnie's going for that deep tip again. And Jenny's doing it. Oh, looks like there was a call over there that we missed. Probably a net violation someplace along the line, or I think he was calling Diane on a backcourt attack actually.
So now it's 9 serving 8, the West Division on top.
Tough call there. But good fight there by Sarah. Again, she's had a really great match so far. Really put that ball away and fought really tough.
It's now tied at 9.
Great pass.
Matsubayashi, nice play there. Nice block.
Nice set.
There's McKelvey, and a little late getting in there and put it into the net.
Might have been a little miscommunication there. The ball was more in the middle of the court. Not sure if maybe it was for, it's hard to tell from up here, maybe the ball was for Diane backcourt, but she was a little out of position, and then Katie came in to hit it. So Kathy Garrington back in the game now. It looks like Hernan's bringing in his big guns too with Kathy and Diane both in the court. She's front court with Saris.
Simpson serving. Here's Garrington.
Goes right to her, just wide. Denise has really kind of given this game away a little bit now by just a lot of their unforced errors, hitting the balls out, hitting the balls into the net or into the block, which are errors that shouldn't happen a lot when you're playing at this level, the experience that's there.
It's 11-9, the West Division leading.
I think the most difficult part in this position is identifying who is going to hit where. So let's make that decision quickly, even now, so we know where everybody's going to hit. You're staying outside? Perfect. So you're going right side? Okay, good. And you have Diana backcourt. Okay? So the pass, if the serve is coming very hard at you, all Jenny needs is a high ball in the middle. If the pass is a bit easier, well, go to her hands, and so she can run a nice offense there. But don't risk it too much if the serve is coming too difficult. High in the middle is going to be enough. Okay? We need now. Okay? One.
So Hernan making sure his troops know where everyone is on the court.
And going back to a little safer game right now, they need this side out. They don't want to let the West, just as before the West didn't want to let the game get out of hand. They need this side out right away.
Simpson serving. There's Garrington.
Maybe a little bit out, but a great pass.
Simpson.
Tried to put the ball in the middle. Good set by Kathy.
There's Poole. She's blocked. It's put up. Smith puts it over.
Oh, great
nice
block by Mary. Again, she sends it right back.
Tried to go deep there.
Great scramble defense, too, by the East. Little miscommunication there.
Smith got it over, though. Here's Garrington. Nice block. Garrington
right
again.
Back. Oh, that was probably the best rally we've seen all day. Both teams played some great coverage as far as covering their hitters and covering the block. And they both played smart as far as putting the ball to the holes in that. Excellent rally.
It's 10 serving 11 now, the third game of the best 2 out of 3. First annual, I guess they'll try to make this an annually all-star game, and what a hit there.
Great hit by Jen. She's really come up big in this last few points. She's made some good digs, and now comes up with a great hit cross court.
Cerny had some trouble with that one.
Very uncharacteristic of probably one of the better passers too, and she's probably begging for Christine to serve the ball back at her so that she can make a better pass. That was very uncharacteristic. I don't think she's missed a pass like that in this game yet.
So it's now 13-10, the East Division leading here. See if we can get a word from Hernan here again.
For the last 5 points, just flawless, no mistakes. Are we capable? Yeah. Of course we are. Let's do it. Okay. Go for it. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
And that attitude right there is probably why Hernan is probably one of the most beloved people in the CIU volleyball circuit. He's a really fun-loving guy, and he's really calm out here, and he knows that even though it'd be nice to win this game, that it's more important that all the players get a chance to really shine out here. So he has faith in his players right now. Much better pass.
There's Cerny, and here's Garrington. That's long. 14-10 now. This is match point for the West Division.
And it's really tough right now for the East. The East can't make a mistake now.
Christine Irwin serving.
They're gonna have to get the balls. Give it
Here's
to Diane.
Cerny.
And that was a great play by Jenny. You know, even if Diane doesn't make the kill, you know, Diane has an opportunity to spend her last point on the university circuit to go down swinging. So that was a great set by Jenny.
It's 11 serving 14, and if the West gets this point, remember it's rally point, they still win. Nice hit.
Great dig by Jenny. She's not going to let this game end yet. Just long by Sarah. Got caught a little bit behind her, but otherwise a really great match. Both teams on their feet, really happy.
And it's the West Division winning the first annual OUA All-Star Volleyball game. They win it in the third game, 15-11. It was the East Division winning the first one, 15-13. The West stormed back 15-1, and then they win it here in the final rally point game, 15-11. Roger Wardell here with Allison Woloshin. Now, Allison, this is the first volleyball game, as I said several times, and it's a good start to what should be an annual event.
Definitely, definitely. I think it's great to be named an all-star, but it's even better to get out there and play with your peers and in front of the best players and the best competition around. So it's a good capper to the end of a season, especially for players like Diana, Lynn McDonald, Sasha, all those players who are graduating this year, Bonnie, who have had amazing seasons, made amazing contributions. This is a good opportunity for them to finish on a great capper, and we wish them all the best of luck afterwards.
And a great showcase for the talent here in the OUA volleyball circuit. So
definitely.
Once again, it was the West Division winning in 3 sets over the East Division. We'll be back with the men's game right after this.
These awards are courtesy of the following sport.
Cable in the classroom tears down walls, opens minds.
Welcome back to the University of Waterloo, and I'm Russ Woloshin. I'm here with a player of the game for the West All-Stars, Lynn McDonald, captain of the Western Mustangs. Congratulations, Lynn, on just a great match today. How do you feel about it?
It was good. It was a lot of fun. It was pretty relaxed. It was just fun. That's what the goal was.
In that second game, Tim put in 2 setters, and he made some big changes. Did the players sort of gasp and say, "What's going on?"
No, that was sort of the plan. The plan was to go with one lineup first, and then he was going to turn the other one in, and we were going to go from there.
Oh, that's great. So you're captain of Ontario champion. You're an OUA All-Star. You've won the Ontario Championships. Where does Lynn McDonald go next year?
Next year, actually, I'm looking to, I'm in Teachers College this year, and I'm looking to go overseas maybe and teach. Looking for a teaching job, actually, is what I'm doing, wherever I can find one.
Well, I'll tell you, we got a coaching job for you here in Waterloo at my volleyball camp if you're available. Great match, congratulations, and good luck to you in the future.
Thank you very much.
This is Russ Woloshin from University of Waterloo with Lynn McDonald. Stay tuned for the men's championship.
In the future, you will access every form of entertainment whenever you wish, and do so with ease and simplicity.
They tell us the future will be wonderful. But who, we ask, will make it practical? Right now, a group of companies you know is working together to build a more practical future. This sign is how you'll know them.
Welcome to the University of Waterloo, ladies and gentlemen, for the first annual men's OUA All-Star Game. I'm Russ Woloshin, and I'm here with Tony Martins, and was a special guest here because Tony he's there for 2 reasons. First of all, to thank him for getting this All-Star Game off the ground. Do you want to just talk a little bit about how hard it was, Tony, to get it going, or was it?
It wasn't all that hard. No. When I started coaching at Waterloo, I suggested the idea of the Coaches Association, and some people said good, some said bad, and then I just kept chipping away here and there, and eventually the idea came together. And once the proposal was passed to actually have the game, there was a lot of support for it.
Well, it's really terrific to see the both sets of teams, the women's and the men's. That's going to be. We're looking forward to two great matches. The other aspect is Tony's as coach of the men's team really knows these All-Stars very well, and I'd like Tony to talk a little bit about how is it going to be a competitive match, and maybe you could feature some of the players that we should look for.
Sure. Yeah, Russ, I think we're going to have a really awesome match. There's a heck of a lot of talent here today, and on paper anyway, the East team looks a bit stronger. But I was watching the West practice today. The West is going to be really good too. There's some really dynamite players. Some of the standouts from the East, however, are first-team All-Canadian Jeff Chung, fifth-year setter from the University of Toronto. He's a dynamite player. He can control a match and do a lot of things. Also on the East, from York University, another fifth-year guy, Richard Van Heusen. And he's a big lefty. He plays on the right side, and he's also an All-Canadian on the second team. He can do a lot of damage.
I think the West is in trouble because they're missing their player of the year, aren't they? Kevin Schonk?
That's right. Kevin Schonk from Laurier is not here today. He had a prior commitment. That'll hurt them, I think. But the strength of the West team is, I think, depth. They've got a lot of talent. There's no real superstars like Chung or Van Heusen from the East, but a lot of guys who can come in and do the job. So it should be a really good match.
Well, that's just great, Tony. And as I said here, this is a first, hopefully, of many to come, and we've got to thank you for doing that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy some great volleyball. Thank you.
In the future, information of all kinds will be yours to command.